Karyn, tell me about a time that you had to convince someone to see your perspective or point of view, even though they initially resisted.
Yeah, absolutely. So I was the key account manager for Nestle working with the Target account. And Nestle had a policy that did not allow Target to advertise exclusive items that we were already partnering with Target on in their circular. And this was a huge issue for Target. It was impacting our sales and impacting our relationship with them as a customer. So I kind of personally tasked myself with finding a solution to overturn this policy in order to further our relationship with Target and grow our business there. So the first action I took was meeting with my counterpart in the marketing team and sales organization internally at headquarters, because I wanted to understand why this policy was in place and kind of who were those key stakeholders as a part of this. And what I learned is that the policy was in place because they were worried about retribution from other retailers. So, our business would be impacted at some of the other major retailers across the country because the items were advertised at Target. Mm-hmm. And I also realized that the policy went all the way up to the president and CEO of our company. So after realizing that, I knew this was a bigger task than just I could take on. So I met with my manager and kind of developed a plan. I presented him with what I wanted to do, and he was 100% on board. And I decided I wanted to look at the business that was happening at these other retailers when Target had exclusive items that were advertised by other competitors. So what was happening to the Hershey business at Kroger and at Walgreens and Walmart and some of these other major retailers when Target had an exclusive item. So I then worked with my junior account manager and I pulled the Nielsen data looking at sales. I knew that was an important metric from a volume standpoint. I also looked at the number of items they had in total to see if the number of items was impacted, and then also just their growth over year to year. And what I ended up finding was that these items and these customers were not being impacted at all. Their business was still growing while Target was having these exclusive items. So I then took that information and synthesized it down to a one-page document that my VP could then take to the president and the CEO of the organization. I knew that a full workbook of information wouldn't be what they would want to see. And I presented it then to my boss and to my VP, and then they took it to the president and the CEO, and we ended up getting the policy overturned. So it was a result in the sense of obviously a huge accomplishment, but also we were then able to grow our business by 6% with Target through this policy change.
And why do you think you were successful at this?
I was able to really understand who those key stakeholders were. I worked back and brought in people. I didn't just go off of what I thought was right. And then I was able to use data to back up. So understanding why the policy was in place, why was it important, and then finding information to counteract that and to prove my point was important. And I took everyone along on that ride with me and had them as kind of allies on the journey.
Great. Thank you.
Great, thank you.